Hey y'all, what's going on YouTube? There's no let's draw on some. There's no let's draw on something today. My computer's on the fritz. But I wanted to put this little quick video out there about Maryland University of Maryland football coach DJ Durkin. He is currently on the paid administrative leave due to the allegations of player abuse within his football program, along with the death of of an offensive lineman whose last name is I forget his first name, but his last name is McNair. And the young man was 19 years old. And it's two articles. There's been two articles that's been made on this in regards to this incident. And it's just and the shit that's been going on with not just with the allegations with Durkin, but with strength and conditioning coach Rick Court. Um, it's really excuse my language. It's really a fucked up situation right now he's in, and with everything what's being said, when with former players and coaches who wishes to remain anonymous about what's been going on. In my opinion, I think Durkin and Court needs to be blacklisted from coaching college football ever again. Period. You know they need to humble and hell. Let alone Durkin don't need to receive a payout. Cause I mean he had a player death, and from what I was reading, the young man he couldn't do the 110-yard sprints and everything. Said he was collapsed, and he was starting to collapse, and he started walking funny, and he had a body temperature of 106 degrees. Now, if anybody know that the default temperature for the human body is at least 98 point, I think between 95 and 98 degrees for the human body, dude was at 106 degrees. He basically was the walking dead. And I'm gonna provide links in the comment section. Probably I'm gonna link some now with the articles that detail the fullest of what went on in his program. But the parts that stuck out to me was that Court was throwing weights at the players and everything. The coaches made this one player trying to lose weight, made him stand and watch the other players work out while they were eating candy, while he was eating candy. They were kind of remind you of that scene from Full Metal Jacket when Private Pile snuck out a jelly donut from the mess hall, and he snuck out a jelly donut from the mess hall, and the whole platoon had to pay for it. He made him stand there, and eat, and they whooped his ass afterwards. So I mean, really, this is a fucked up situation that Durkin and Court are in right now, and then they can't say that they ain't been doing this and doing that, because when you got a lot of people, like coaches, players, current players, and other former players and stuff that's seeing it, numerous amounts of eyes, it's a losing battle for both Durkin and Court. So I don't wish any will on them, but it's just a fact. Hey, I hope they get what's coming to them, because they got a player death that's on their program, and they know better about that. And also from stuff that I read on the article, they said that they would slap a. If a player had his meal and everything, they said they slapped it out of his hand and stuff like that. And like players were afraid to go and report them. I can relate on that, because back in when like I said, my horror stories from Fort Sill, to me when I was in basic training from 97 to 98. I remember the first sergeant in my platoon. I remember the 3rd Platoon Reapers, 3115. Everybody, and all of the platoon, the Raiders and the Warlords of the 3115. Our first sergeant told us, and even our senior drill sergeant had told us. He said, if you feel that we get if you're and by right is what you're supposed to do. If you feel that your drill sergeants are mistreating you or disrespect you in any way, shape, or form, you come to me. Then go to the senior drill sergeant, and we'll roll with it from there. Our drill sergeant told us that we better not. And and that's the wrong choice of words that you can tell me. That we better not go back and report any mistreatment on them, because they ain't gonna do nothing and make it harder for us. And when you have your drill sergeants tell you some shit like that, they fucking up. So, and like I said, in all the articles that's being, the statements that's been put out in the article, which I will link it. They say they demeaning the players, cursing out the players, talking to them any kind of way. Excuse me for a second. And you know, talking to them any kind of way and stuff like that, talking bad about their parents and everything. Hey, I can relate to that shit. I ain't play football, but I can relate to that shit because, like I said, my year in basic training. Hey, I had drill sergeants with wanted to talk back and kind of talk bad about my moms and pops and shit. And then when pops came up there to confront one of them, they tucked their tail between their legs and ran. So maybe it was a good thing. Man, pops was just saying, hey, God rest pops' soul. He told me, hey, maybe he knew he knew where he messed up at. But enough about that. But again, this is really a messed up case for University of Maryland football. And as of right now, the new offensive coordinator, Matt Canada, formerly of LSU, formerly of North Carolina State, he would now be the interim coach. And more likely, if they fired DJ Durkin, they may remove the interim tag on Matt Canada, which he rightfully deserves. But it's just fucked up, man. How coaches like Durkin and Court treat these players. And if you are a football coach, let me tell you something. You do not find a way. I don't care who it is. If you're a football coach, basketball coach, a supervisor, or if you're a drill sergeant in any form, any shape, branch, form, military, you do not, and you are not paid to mistreat another human being's child. What if that was your son getting mistreated like that? I don't have children of my own, but if that was my son getting mistreated like that, I would confront the coach and tell him, hey, hey, my child's deaf on your hands, man. This on you, and I will sue you to the fullest. And which McNair's parents is about to do. They are gonna sue the shit out of the school and Durkin. So I hope Durkin gets fired and he gets blacklisted. From all this. And it's a messed up situation. It's just sad, man. But back to what I said before I got sidetracked. If anybody's viewing this video, if you are a coach, if you are currently a drill sergeant in the military, especially, or any type of way, let me repeat this. You do not, and you are in no position. I don't give a damn if you're making $38.5 million a year as a coach or whatever you make as a drill sergeant. Nowhere in your job title says that you have to mistreat another person's child. Who's my one viewer? Okay. Nowhere in your job title, nowhere in your contract, it says that you have the right to mistreat another person's child as you see fit. You're getting paid to coach and you're getting paid to train. If you're a drill sergeant, that's part of that. That's in your Army that's in that little contract you signed with the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, whatever, Coast Guard, whatever. You do not have the right to talk any kind of way to a person's child, and let alone demean them and talk bad about them and talk bad about their parents. Any players, the football players, basketball players, and even recruits. They have the right to go to your bosses and report y'all asses. Y'all are not above and beyond the law. Y'all are not above and beyond the law. Because let me tell you something. Sometimes fear and intimidation in this world, yeah, it does work. But nowadays with these young kids now, that's not going to fly. And I'm letting you know that now. Fear and intimidation is not going to fly. That's why I made it bold with one of my drill sergeants. I said, man, hey, that fear and intimidation don't work on me. I told one of my drill sergeants flat out, I said, you couldn't intimidate a rat, so what makes you think you can intimidate me? They never could. But they were trying to instill a whole lot of fear, would make you feel about, like, you better not report us on us about seeing drill sergeants because we'll make it hard on you. Well, one person from another platoon did, and guess what? We all paid for it. Everybody thought it was us. Everybody thought it was me. And come to find it was from another platoon. We paid for it. We every other platoon paid for it, and it was fucked up. And they knew, and the drill sergeant knew he was wrong. So if you are a coach, or let me put it like this: if you are a parent that has a child in any type of sports or whatever, or if you got a child that's in the military, And I'm gonna tell you this, and if you are a child that's in the military and sports or whatever, if you feel your coaches and your drill sergeant is mistreating you, you got that fucking right to go back and report it. Man, fuck what they say. You exercising your human rights. There's no law about the fact you can't exercise no human rights. It's not a crime in this world where you cannot stand up for yourself. Your parents taught you to stand up for yourself, be able to stand on your 2 feet, be on your own. Okay? Do that shit. I'm telling you, do that shit. I did it in my job at FedEx. I stood up to some motherfuckers too. At my old job at FedEx too. I stood up to a whole bunch of people. Young and old. I almost at one point had to knock the hell out of a young punk for wanting to talk crazy to me. He deserved it, but he knew to back off. He knew not to fuck with me no more. That's how I got respect that way. But let me tell you this, parents and kids. Parents, if your child is being mistreated by a coach or whatever, or let alone they in the military, drill sergeant is mistreating them, and they tell you about it, you got a right to go back and tell. And the child does the same way. The bottom line is, fear and intimidation does not work in any type of business. And with this shit that's going on with Maryland with DJ Durkin and Rick Court, for example, shit like what they're doing. And if you want me to link, and if you want me to want the link to the article that I was talking about, you can you can ask me in the comments right here. You can ask me in the comment section. Appreciate the thumbs up, whoever did that. What I was about to say. If y'all want the link, fine, I'll do that. But I got my one viewer who's my one viewer. So like I said, if you got a child that's in any type of organized sport at their college, university, their coach is mistreating them and they tell you about it, you got a fucking right to do your own dirt. And let me tell you, and kids also, if it's your coach, let alone, I'll put it like better, if it's your teacher talking shit to you any type of way, you got a fucking right to report them. You got every right to report them. And believe me, your parent will definitely come up there and confront their ass. For real. So I'm saying this, exercise y'all human rights, man. Stand up for yourself. Don't let nobody, don't let a coach, don't let a fucking teacher, and damn sure don't let a drill sergeant or your supervisor utilize fear and intimidation tactics on you. Bar none, period. That's called, in this type of lifetime, that's called bullying. Okay? People getting nowadays, they getting their ass whooped for bullying, let alone they getting their ass killed for bullying. Yes, it's hot outside. I'm in the shade and it's fucking hot here in Huntsville. Okay? Folks nowadays, they're getting their asses either kicked or killed for bullying. I've been bullied all my life, but you know what? Them same folks that's bullying me, they getting their just desserts. I ain't doing nothing to them. They getting their just desserts in life. So again, once again, like I said, Maryland coach, he's about to be former University of Maryland football coach DJ Durkin and football strength and conditioning coach Rick Court have been both placed on administrative leave pending outcome of an investigation for mistreatment of players and the death of an offensive lineman. Now you can Google DJ Durkin and you'll see a whole bunch of stuff amid the allegations. And see, ESPN kept this on the low until now. And this is what pisses me off with ESPN. Okay, y'all are fucking worried about Urban Meyer keeping his job. Why all of a sudden y'all coming out of the woodwork later on with this? Urban Meyer gonna get his job back. Urban Meyer ain't never had a player deaf under him. Yeah, and I admitted that, and I said it on the last week's episode of Let's Draw on Something. That reporter was wrong for coming out asking Urban a question that he wasn't prepared for. So that reporter that asked him that, fuck you. You almost cost this man his damn job. But hey, the difference is Urban Meyer gonna get his job back. He know how to report shit. He got a mouth. He got a mind and mouth. He knows how to report shit to his bosses. He ain't doing this shit that DJ Durkin is doing to his players, and let alone got a player deaf on them. So, with that being said, y'all, I'm out. I'm about to be out in a minute. Exercise your right. Exercise your rights as a person. Don't be afraid to speak up. fuck the consequences. I'm telling you this, fuck the consequences from your teacher, your supervisor, and your drill sergeant, whatever. You got a right to speak up if you feel you're being mistreated. But damn. But other than that, y'all, I'm fighting flies and shit. But other than that,